My brother mocked my fake military job at Thanksgiving. His special forces buddy saw my credentials, snapped to attention, and said, "Sir, do you know what unit she's with?" The fork in my hand stopped halfway to my mouth when I heard Ethan say it. Yeah, my sister plays pretend soldier. Does some desk job at Fort Meade, types emails, probably files paperwork, not like real military work. He said it loud enough. The entire Thanksgiving table heard. Loud enough that his buddy from his Army Ranger days, sitting directly across from me, looked up with interest. I set the fork down carefully, watching the cranberry sauce slide off the sweet potato. Felt my face go hot. Not from embarrassment, from rage, that I'd spent 8 years learning to control. My mother made a small noise of protest. My father shifted uncomfortably. My younger sister Olivia shot me a look. That clearly said, "Please don't make a scene." But Ethan wasn't done. He turned to his friend, a guy he'd introduced as Nathan Riggs, former 75th Ranger Regiment, 2 deployments to Afghanistan, currently working private security. She won't even tell us what she actually does. Claims it's classified. He used air quotes around the word classified, like it was a joke. I'd been serving in the United States Army for 8 years, the last 4 of which had been spent doing work I genuinely couldn't discuss with anyone outside specific secure facilities. My name is Jordan Whitlock. I'm 31 years old. I held the rank of captain in a unit that doesn't appear on organizational charts. My official assignment was Intelligence and Security Command, but my actual work involved cryptologic operations, signals intelligence, that I literally could not describe without violating federal law and my top secret sensitive compartmented information clearance. The paperwork I'd signed made it crystal clear. Unauthorized disclosure could result in criminal prosecution, imprisonment, penalties that would destroy my career. So when family asked what I did, I said I worked in intelligence analysis at Fort Meade, which was technically true, but left out about 90% of what my job actually involved. Most of them accepted this. My parents understood. Some military work was sensitive. Olivia trusted me. But Ethan, my 33-year-old brother, who'd served 6 years as an Army infantry officer before leaving to work in finance, had decided somewhere along the way that my inability to discuss my work meant I didn't do anything important. It had started small, little comments at family gatherings about how his deployments had been real combat while I'd probably never left an office building, jokes about intelligence work being for people who couldn't hack it, references to my job as a 9 to 5. I tried explaining. Different military roles served different purposes. Intelligence operations were critical. What I did mattered. But every explanation came across as defensive because I couldn't provide specifics, couldn't point to concrete achievements. Everything I'd worked on for the past 4 years was classified at levels. That meant I couldn't even acknowledge whether specific programs existed. Nathan Riggs was looking at me now with polite interest. He was maybe 35, fit in the way soldiers stay fit, with the kind of weathered face that suggested time in harsh environments. Ethan had mentioned Nathan left the Rangers 3 years ago, working for a private military contractor now. "What do you do at Meade?" Nathan asked. His tone was genuinely curious, not condescending. I gave him the standard answer, the one I'd rehearsed hundreds of times. "I work in intelligence analysis, signals intelligence primarily, monitoring and interpreting electronic communications, mostly computer work. Nothing particularly exciting." The lie of omission tasted familiar. Nathan nodded. Ethan jumped back in. "See? Computer work. She stares at screens all day. Meanwhile, I was outside the wire in Ramadi, actually engaging the enemy, actually putting my life on the line." Ethan's voice had that edge, sharper and louder. He'd put away 3 beers before dinner, working on his 4th. "She gets to call herself a soldier, gets the same thank you for your service treatment, but she's never been in a firefight, never pulled security on a convoy, never done anything that actually required courage." Mom made a more forceful sound of protest. Dad set down his glass, with enough force to make silverware rattle. "Ethan, that's enough." Ethan waved him off. "I'm not saying she doesn't contribute. I'm saying there's a difference between real military service and whatever she does in her air-conditioned office. Real soldiers put their lives at risk. She manages computer files." The worst part was I couldn't argue, not effectively. Proving him wrong would require describing things I legally couldn't discuss. I couldn't tell him about the deployment to a classified location, the commendation for work that identified a high-value target. All of that was classified. The awards were classified. So I sat there, silent and seething, while my brother painted me as a fraud. Nathan was watching with growing discomfort. He tried to redirect. "Intelligence work is critical. We relied on it constantly downrange." Ethan just laughed. That's when I saw my phone, sitting next to my plate, screen facing up, military ID credentials visible in my wallet case. Nathan's eyes landed on it. Full story is linked below or on my channel.